So, a car is really just a machine on wheels. It's a personal vehicle that helps people travel from one place to another. You can kind of think of it as a small private room that can actually move. People use cars for all sorts of reasons. They drive to work, head out to the shops, visit family, or even explore new places far from home. You know, before cars, people mostly walked or used horses, and those ways were much slower. The invention of the car changed everything. It gave people the freedom to travel quickly and comfortably, over long distances. This new freedom, honestly, reshaped our towns, our cities, and the way we live our daily lives, making the world feel so much smaller. The main body of a car is called the chassis. It's the strong frame that holds everything together, sort of like a skeleton. On top of this frame sits the car's body, which is the metal and plastic shell you see from the outside. The body protects everyone inside from the wind and rain. It has doors for getting in and out, windows for seeing the world go by, and seats for sitting comfortably. All the important parts of the car, like the engine and the wheels, are attached to this sturdy chassis. It's really the foundation upon which the entire vehicle is built, making sure it's strong enough for the road. Inside the car, there's the cabin. This is where the driver and passengers sit. The driver has a special seat with all the controls needed to operate the machine. There's a steering wheel to guide the car, pedals on the floor to make it go faster or slower, and a gear stick to control the engine's power. The cabin is designed to be as safe and comfortable as possible. It has seat belts to protect people in case of a sudden stop. There's also a dashboard with important gauges that tell the driver how fast the car is going and how much fuel is left. Cars are incredibly useful tools. They're so much more than just a way to get around. They carry our shopping, take our children to school, and help us on holidays. They act as our personal transport, ready to go whenever we need them. This convenience is why millions of people rely on them every single day. Having a car in the driveway means you have the ability to go almost anywhere you want, at any time you choose. It really represents a kind of personal liberty that was unimaginable for most people just a little over a century ago, fundamentally changing our relationship with distance and time. The engine is, without a doubt, the most important part of the car. It's kind of like the car's heart. Its main job is to create the power that makes the car move. Most car engines are called internal combustion engines. That name might sound a bit complicated, but it simply means that fuel burns inside the engine to create energy. The engine is usually found at the front of the car, under a cover called the bonnet or hood. It's a heavy block of metal with many moving parts inside, all working together in perfect harmony. When you start the car, you're basically waking up the engine and telling it to get ready to work. Inside the engine are small hollow tubes called cylinders. Within each cylinder is a piston, which is just a solid piece of metal that can move up and down. The engine works in a 4-step process. First, a mixture of fuel and air is pulled into the cylinder. Second, the piston moves up and squeezes this mixture very tightly. Third, a tiny spark ignites the mixture, causing a small, controlled explosion. This explosion pushes the piston down with great force. This powerful push is what creates the energy to move the car. It's this constant cycle of tiny explosions that generates the machine's power. This up and down motion of the pistons needs to be changed into a spinning motion to turn the wheels. That's the job of a part called the crankshaft. The pistons are connected to the crankshaft, and as the pistons are pushed down by the explosions, they push on the crankshaft and make it turn, kind of like your legs push on pedals to turn the wheels of a bicycle. The crankshaft spins around really fast, thousands of times every minute. This spinning motion is the power that will eventually be sent to the wheels of the car. But first, it needs to be managed and controlled by other parts. The engine needs to stay cool because with all those explosions, it gets very hot. A car has a cooling system that pumps a special liquid called coolant around the engine. This liquid absorbs the heat and then travels to a part at the front of the car called the radiator. The radiator has many small fins, and as the car moves, air flows over them, cooling the liquid down before it is pumped back to the engine. Without this system, the engine would get too hot and just stop working. It's a vital system that protects the engine from damaging itself with its own incredible heat. The power from the spinning crankshaft in the engine doesn't go directly to the wheels. It first goes through a system called the transmission. The transmission is a bit like the gears on a bicycle. It helps control the amount of power and speed being sent to the wheels. When a car starts moving, it needs a lot of power to get going. so it uses a low gear. Once the car is moving faster, it needs less power and more speed, so the driver or an automatic system changes to a higher gear. This system allows the engine to work efficiently whether the car is climbing a steep hill or cruising on a flat motorway. The wheels are what connect the car to the road. They're made of a metal rim and a rubber tire. The spinning power from the transmission is sent through long rods called axles to the wheels, making them turn. The rubber tires are filled with air, which helps to give a smooth ride by soaking up bumps in the road. The pattern on the surface of the tire is called the tread. The tread is super important because it grips the road surface, which helps the car to accelerate, turn and stop safely, especially when the road is wet. Without this grip, the car would just slide around uncontrollably. A car can't create power from nothing, it needs fuel. The most common types of fuel are petrol, also known as gasoline, and diesel. This fuel is stored in a tank, usually at the back of the car. When the engine is running, a fuel pump sends a small amount of fuel from the tank along a pipe to the engine. There, the fuel is mixed with air and sprayed into the cylinders to be ignited. The energy stored in the fuel is released as a controlled explosion which pushes the pistons. This is why you have to regularly visit a fuel station to refill the tank, as the car uses up this fuel to keep its engine running. The car's movement is really a chain reaction. It all starts with the fuel. The chemical energy in the fuel is turned into heat energy by the explosion in the cylinder. This heat energy is turned into mechanical energy as it pushes the piston down. The mechanical energy turns the crankshaft, which then spins the transmission and axles. Finally, this spinning motion turns the wheels, and their grip on the road pushes the entire car forward. Every part has to work together perfectly. If one part in this chain fails, like an empty fuel tank or a flat tire, the car just won't be able to move. Driving a car means you're really in control of a powerful machine. The main tool for controlling the car's direction is the steering wheel. When the driver turns the steering wheel, it moves a system of rods and gears connected to the front wheels. Turning the steering wheel to the left causes the front wheels to point to the left, and the car follows. Turning it to the right makes the wheels point right. Modern cars often have power steering, which uses a hydraulic pump or an electric motor to make turning the wheel much easier, especially when the car is moving slowly or is stopped. Just as important as making the car go is making it stop. That's the job of the brakes. At each wheel, there's a brake system. When you press the brake pedal with your foot, it pushes a special fluid through a network of pipes to the brakes on each wheel. This fluid pushes brake pads against a spinning disc that is attached to the wheel. The friction between the pads and the disc slows the wheel's rotation. The harder you press the pedal, the more force the pads apply, and the faster the car slows down. This system turns the car's movement energy into heat energy. Controlling the car is a constant conversation between the driver and the machine. You use the steering wheel to tell the car where to go. You use the accelerator pedal to tell the engine to provide more power and go faster. You use the brake pedal to tell the wheels to slow down. The driver must always pay attention to the road and use these controls smoothly and carefully. Learning to drive is really learning the language of these controls, understanding how the car will respond to every turn of the wheel and every press of a pedal, making sure the journey is safe for everyone. Cars have become a fundamental part of modern society. They give us the freedom to live in one place and work in another. They allow us to transport goods, respond to emergencies, and connect with people who live far away. Our cities are designed around roads for cars, and many people's daily routines really depend entirely on them. While we are looking for new ways to power them, like electricity, the basic idea of a personal vehicle remains as important as ever. The car is a complex machine, but its purpose is simple: to give us the power to move through our world.